standing out in the outside the set smoking cigarettes.
No, you're talking, but you're
It wasn't our set, it was the set next door.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about Wing Commander 4.
Oh, was that 4?
Yeah,
Okay,
4,
okay.
And I think the O.J. Simpson trials on number 4. And they were shooting the
Birdcage.
Birdcage
With Robin Williams.
On the sets next to us.
And it made for some interesting scenery when you'd go outside.
Well, they also shot, while we were shooting, they also shot the T2 3D ride with Arnold and James Cameron was directing it. So that was kind of fun. And James Cameron came over and watched me direct, and then invited me over to go on his set. So that was a big cool thing for me.
I didn't get invited to that set, but I did crash the Birdcage set after they had shut it down.
Did you try some drag on? A dress or anything?
Well,
just get the Blu-ray and look for the deleted scenes.
Only when I was sitting on Martin's bed. I did. They spent what I heard $3 million on that Birdcage set, and I borrowed a souvenir.
It was a pretty elaborate set.
It was. I mean, the whole inside of their nightclub was decked out in there. Anyway, it was just all sitting in there, and I borrowed one of their shot glasses, and I still have that shot glass to this day with the Birdcage. I mean, even the shot glasses up there, they had painted the name Birdcage on all of them. That was amazing.
Borrowed one, did you?
I did. I still have that shot glass to this day.
That's it. Yeah. When are you going to unborrow it?
When I see Robin, next, I'm gonna give it back to him. Okay. Yes.
What do you remember about Strike Commander, if anything?
I have a very, very, very powerful memory of Strike Commander.
That was before the EA acquisition.
It was right at the EA acquisition. Maybe a year before the EA acquisition, and the year during the EA acquisition, and a year or two after the EA acquisition. That's about how long Strike Commander was, wasn't it?
It wasn't that long. We got bought in 92, and I think we released it in
my most powerful memory of Strike Commander is at EA. They were having their first ever $100 million quarter that they had. They'd invited some of us out to participate in their company-wide event. You weren't there for some reason, at least not at this moment, probably. And EA was parading out each, people giving demos from each of their divisions. They had their new EA kids. They had Will Wright there with Maxis, and the Need for Speed guys from Canada. And when they bought each one of them, they had renamed them to like EA this or EA that. This EA Kids, EA Canada, and then we said no. That was Origin, and I was supposed to give a demo of Strike Commander. Yeah, they got like this 800-foot screen, on the wall back there, and. And Strike Commander's, logo was up there when it was my turn, and I go up there and I give a pretty decent, humorous 5-minute pitch about Origin putting the EA in Texas, and so on and so forth. And I was building up to Strike Commander, and I finally said, "And now I give you Strike Commander," and I pushed the button, and I turned around, and the screen filled with zeros and ones. The whole 800-foot wide screen filled with an endless scrolling row of zeros and ones.
That's why you don't send Dallas to do the demo for you. It's basically like
You hit the wrong key.
Obviously, I hit the wrong key. And I looked at the screen, I looked back at the audience, and I go, "Strike Commander!"
That's why they were laughing.
Oh, they thought it was hilarious. Yeah. That's probably not necessarily my fondest memory of Strike Commander, but one of my more powerful memories of Strike Commander, because they had the entire EA employee base there. Yeah. But it did get out. It did ship. It did set new standards for what you could do in flight sims. And yeah.
Yeah. All right. What's the next question now?
I don't know. Let's see. We should take a question or two from the audience.
What kind of questions?
Maybe some questions, and then bring Richard over, and I can sit and talk to Richard, and we can take some more questions from the audience.
Let me ask him.
Yeah, that's the chat. You can read that.
01010111.
By the way, I'll chat before like pre on it. See what we're at now. What's this? 5, 8.
It's very slowly refreshing this page. It might take 2 minutes.
Ooh, tell us a funny story about Chris Roberts. I got a good one for when I get into your chair.
Alrighty.
It has to do with cars on the road.
Yeah, that was the rivalry. You didn't even touch on that. But, you know,
Just a smidgen. Just a smidgen. Well, you know, another thing I remember about our trip to England was we had to go meet with some company downtown London. Now this was the week before Christmas. It was definitely the holidays. You know, being from Texas, we all have cars. We all have cars, and I didn't like to be without a car. And Chris said, "We're gonna take the tube into town." First of all, I didn't know what the tube was. I said, "No, we're not going to take the tube. Let's just take the rental car." And Chris was saying, "Dallas, I'm telling you, you do not want to drive the car into downtown London." I go, "Yeah, you know, because I don't, you know, you never know what our schedule's going to be. We need to be flexible and be able to get around." Biggest mistake of our life. It must have took us, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 hours to get, you know, it seemed like 3 or 4 blocks in there because it was a total standstill. Not only was it packed with cars, but the sidewalks were 12 deep in people as well. I mean, there was
So you couldn't
the
go on the
standing.
sidewalk? Is that what
We
you're
couldn't
saying?
drive on the sidewalk either. I'd never seen.
Yeah, there's people in the way. It's pesky little people.
I had never seen anything like it in my life.
Well, driving in London is like the ultimate test of any driver's skill and, you know, calm under pressure kind of thing. Because everyone's diving for the little spots.
I tried my best not to admit to Chris that he was right, but he was.
Do you all remember a story where there was this chap from Microprose UK called Ray, something or other, like the liaison for Origin? And there was a trade show that you all went over to London for, and he took you out to a barbecue restaurant. All the things that he could have taken you to.
Was it my first? Yeah, I think it was some. I remember that.
This guy with a frizz was his sales lady.
Yeah. Was it barbecue? No, it wasn't. It was a Mexican restaurant. It was worse.
Oh.